Hello everybody, great to be back in Noosa again. We always look forward to these events. Catching up with our existing shareholders, I can see a couple in the front row there. No doubt you'll give me a hard time at the booth later on today. We've had significant price recovery in our share price, which is always a good thing. And those new to the story, hopefully you'll leave this with a better understanding of what we do and how we do it, and why we see ourselves as a really significant value opportunity. We are a developer of a critical mineral in high purity, low iron silica. Take the disclaimer as read. Our ambition is to become the preeminent silica producer in Australia, producing a low iron, high purity silica project. We have size and scale, almost now 500 million tonnes of resource, over 99% pure SI. Potential for the delivery of 3 projects: our flagship Northern Silica project, our Galala project in the southern part of our tenement, which I'll show you, and now Cape Flattery Silica, which we acquired in our recent takeover of Metallica Minerals. I don't think I need to sell you the solar story or renewables story, but we are intrinsically linked to renewables and the photovoltaic story. We're a key supplier of a key mineral, which is used in every single solar panel. Really simple mining project. Someone's cruelly suggested it's glorified quarrying. Really simple processing. Mother Nature has gifted us with an incredibly pure series of deposits in the incredible Dune Field. Mother Nature over thousands of years has purified this sand through natural action of heat and rain and humic acid through breakdown of vegetation, has done a lot of the processing work already for us. We do put it through spirals and magnetics to get it to this incredibly pure product. Corporate snapshot, I will dwell on one item within that corporate snapshot, but currently trading around 2.5 cents. Our market cap is up over 120 million, about 5 billion shares on issue following our takeover of Metallica. Current cash, we're sitting around 26 million. We took a view which will get us funded all through next year, to all the way through permitting and approval process. We don't need to dip back for that. That's corporate and joint venture cash. We have a joint venture on our silica projects. We took a view over 2.5 years ago, about 2.5 years ago now, we saw capital markets getting increasingly tough to deal with. We made a decision to seek a key development partner. Firstly, to give us balance sheet, but give us access to capital and technical expertise to develop our projects. So we haven't been back near market to raise capital for over 2 years now, which is an unusual position for a company of our size and space. Principally, major shareholders, Ilwella, the Flannery family, Sibelco, our joint venture partner, Deutsche Balaton, German mining group. There you go. Share price has shown some appreciation post the Metallica merger. 26 million in cash, as I said, about 5 billion shares on issue. We now have a dominant tenure position where we are. We're north of Cooktown, in from the Aboriginal township of Hopevale. These are really long life projects. We completely surround the operations of the world's largest silica mine, owned by Mitsubishi at Cape Flattery. They've been operating over 40 years. We completely, if we didn't before or after the Metallica acquisition, we now certainly completely surround them. Our position is very dominant, unusual to have that degree of tenure and important asset under our control. It allows us to plan long term. Mitsubishi have been operating there over 50 years. This sort of dominant tenure position we now have enables us to really plan for the long term and not waste infrastructure, and to really plan for a long-term mining operation, certainly in the lowest quartile. So Sibelco, for those of you who don't know who Sibelco is, they're preeminent in the silica space worldwide. European-based, Brussels-based, over 5,000 employees, really strong balance sheet, absolutely dominate the high purity end of the silica market. They've been really important for us to provide that technical expertise, access to balance sheet, really key, that funding that they gave us within the joint venture. They own around 26% of the joint venture with us. They're a really important partner for us to ensure our projects get delivered. Why is this product important? About 70% of every standard commercial panel, solar panel, is comprised of this high purity, low iron silica, manufactured from this high purity, low iron silica sand. And the demand for that is increasing exponentially. It's not only used in solar panels, so it is used in other uses, high-end architectural, high-end electronics, thin film, glass for televisions and other things as well. Much of the, as you're probably aware, over 90% of the world's solar panels are manufactured in China, so it's an important market for this product. However, we see also important markets developing for our product into India, Taiwan, and Korea as well. But I didn't really fully appreciate, there is no substitute. I was talking to a technologist recently, but there is no substitute for the use of glass in solar panels yet. I don't know if you noticed, but if you use your little solar lights in your garden that have the plastic cover, they last about 6 months, they turn milky. There's only one cover in this high purity glass that will last 15, 20 years and maintain its integrity and the characteristics that are needed to produce an efficient solar panel. So there is no substitute for this particular product. This market continues to grow markedly. Equivalent estimates are that equivalent to the world's largest solar park has to be produced roughly every day now to meet the demand for this important product. But also, for the first time, we see investment in solar passing all other renewables. China's supply continues to grow. As I said, it is over 90% of the market. Interestingly, we see India now stepping up more. We get approached by off-takers regularly with who we engage with. We are transitioning currently through the final stages of permitting and approvals. Importantly, why I think we're a value proposition, when we look at our market cap, around 120 million, we're a little bit less than 10% of our NPV on our project. And I think we're moving through that really important part over the next 2 quarters, final permitting and approvals, where we'll start to see that NPV value unlocked and reflected more in our share price and company value. As I said, this is really simple. This is our Northern Silica Project scoping study. Really simple project in design and scope. CapEx around 350 million, IRR around 33%, NPV at 1.4 billion, annual free cash around 300 million. This is a really robust, commercial, simple project to develop, starting at 3 million tonnes. Cape Flattery, the world's largest silica mine, produce a little over 3 million tonnes per year, so we'll match their output in our first years of production. Potential to increase that to 5 million tonnes over time. It's a lovely shot, actually, of the Cape Flattery port. We have an existing agreement in place with Ports Corporation, who run the port, and Cape Flattery Silica Mines, Mitsubishi's owned producer, to access the port so we can undertake our relevant studies. We have our scoping study has us establishing our own marine infrastructure, using that facility for transshipping only. That's through a partial user agreement, which we have an active negotiation underway currently with the Port Authority. We remain cautiously optimistic that in fact a full user agreement is a more likely outcome over time, where we get to access Mitsubishi's loading infrastructure and the port. Current port nameplate capacity is over 6 million tonnes. The current usage is just over 3, so there is capacity at the port, and we're in negotiations currently, and we're optimistic getting to a successful outcome. We recently went through a takeover of a company that held a key asset to the north of our operations, Metallica. Really saw an important consolidation, putting us in a dominant tenure position. We think that'll drive, importantly, we know that will drive value for Metallica shareholders who participated, and Diatreme, of course, we're all now one happy family in Diatreme. It took a while to get through. Takeover was completed in mid-September, and we saw that dip in share price really as the market sort of struggled with understanding it. We've now moved past that, and we can start to see genuinely the benefits in the consolidation. Our dealings with traditional owners, our dealings with regulators, our dealings with market, it's much easier with one voice in a dominant tenure position. And those Metallica shareholders are now part of a larger group, and we see some price recovery in our share price as well. And we see the benefits on ground of that integration in staffing, workforce. Having a single voice in community is really important, and we're seeing high levels of support from regulators as well. The previous government, it'd be interesting to see how the new government treat this, but the critical mineral strategy was very active in the previous Queensland government. We see that continuing. We now form a key plank in that hub. We dominate that Cape Flattery region. We think it's important, particularly this is an important critical mineral. Quick snapshot of the area we acquired through Metallica to the north of Mitsubishi's operations. Brought us up to nearly 460 million tonnes resource. They had a standalone operation in DFS stage. We're now looking recent acquisition, so we're now examining the synergies between the two projects, our flagship Northern project and the Cape Flattery Silica project, to see how they fit together efficiently, to make sure we drive synergies between the two projects, use the marine infrastructure as economically and as sensibly as possible. We're working through that now. There'll be some very logical outcomes over the coming months. Our flagship Northern Silica project, first couple of years looking at production of around 3 million tonnes, transshipping in the port, looking at using the berthing capacity. We have a partial user negotiation afoot with Ports North, the regulator or owner of the port. Mining foot, again, really simple mining, not complex. We're mining above water table, simple processing, slurry to port, slurry to dewatering stockpile, then to port. Really simple mining and not complex at all. Phase 2 kicking up to that 5 million tonnes within 2 years, subject to market conditions. We have a MOU, offtake MOU with Flat, one of the largest Chinese processors of glass. We have a number of others we look forward to releasing over the coming months as we transition into the final stage of permitting and approvals. Galala project we have currently on hold while we develop our Northern Silica project. We view it as a privilege, but we reside in a very interesting area. We have 13 clan groups, 2 PBCs that we deal with. We view it as an opportunity, not a burden. We actively engage. We're the only mining company with a representation in Hopevale. We have a permanent office and staff. We engage regularly and often, And this is a really important regional economic and jobs opportunity, investment and jobs. And community get that, and we're all about getting a fair and negotiated deal for them as we transition over this final stages of permitting and approvals. So where we at, we've received our final terms of reference for the permitting for the Northern Silica project. We will lodge for review mid-next year our final EIS. We would anticipate final approvals in the second half of 2025. We're looking to get all those approvals, Commonwealth state approvals in place, looking to transition into mining in late 2026. But we think we're in that really important inflection point now as high degrees of certainty around the implementation of this project start to happen through the permitting and approval process over the next couple of quarters. So we think we represent incredible value at the moment. As I say, we're at the booth all day, so please come and say good day. Happy to have a chat. Thank you very much for your time.